In today's world, people are so stressed out. It is called the executive's disease because executives seem to be more vulnerable to it. You've got targets to meet, reports to submit, performance appraisals, layoffs happening all the time, and this stresses people out completely. So the question arises, how do you overcome stress? Stress has become ubiquitous, and that is why stress management is a commonly discussed topic. The first time I did a study on it was in the year 2009 when I happened to be visiting Chicago. And the IIT Alumni Association of Midwest in Chicago came to know that Swamiji is a fellow alumnus. They invited me to their monthly meeting and asked me to give a talk. I said, "What do you want me to talk about? Live your life with God." They said, "Absolutely not. We are not interested in such things. Our members are C-suite officers. They are all executives after 25, 30 years in the industry." So I said, "Then you pick your topic." They picked the topic of stress management. They said, "You speak on stress management." So I said, "All right, if you don't want to know God, at least you want to know how to manage your stress. You believe in stress at least." I then asked Mr. Google, "How do you manage stress?" Right? One gentleman said, "My wife's name is Google Kaur." People asked him why. Like Google, she knows the answers to everything. So I asked Mr. Google, "How do you manage stress?" And the answers I got was, somebody said, "You do Tai Chi." Another said, "You do meditation." Third said, "Go for a nature walk." Fourth said, "Breathe slowly." Fifth said, "Do Tratak Dhyan." Sixth said, "Listen to soft music." I understood Mr. Google is only guessing. These things are not even reaching the root cause of stress. They are only symptomatic. Like, for example, if you catch malaria, the symptom will be fever. Now, to suppress the fever, you can take a crocin and the fever will come down. But the malaria virus pathogen remains inside. Likewise, anything that slows down the mind will reduce stress, but it doesn't address the reason why stress arises. So then I went to the Bhagavad Gita and saw that Sri Krishna had given the answer 5,000 years ago in a verse that even children in India know. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Arjun, do your work sincerely with dedication, but don't be attached to results. See, all the stress build-up is not because one works hard. Stress comes when you are attached to results. We just had the graduation ceremony of the Prem Yoga teachers. They were working 14 hours a day. That may have exhausted them, but it did not stress them out. In fact, at the end, they felt fulfilled. Time well spent, a mission well accomplished. That sense of fulfillment comes by working hard. Stress happens when you start clinging to the results. And Sri Krishna says the results are not in your hands in any case. The results can come because of so many reasons. Your past karmas, your present karmas, of course, which is the efforts, or the efforts of others. If you are 5 people going for a job interview, your efforts alone don't count because your competitors may be better. Or sometimes it is the combined karma of the area that attracts natural calamities. Sometimes it is the will of God, or sometimes it is sheer chance. Your car was in the proper direction, proper side of the road, proper speed, but this drunk driver came and hit you. You happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So the only thing in your hands are the efforts. Sri Krishna says, focus on the efforts. Do your best and leave to God all the rest. So remember this sutra always. There's a lot of confusion in this regard. A student came and asked me, Swamiji, I am so stressed out. I said, what is the matter? He said, I have my competitive exam 3 months from now. So I said, the hard work is stressing you? He said, yes, Swamiji. I said, impossible. What is stressing you is the fear, will I pass, will I fail, what will happen, what will happen? So the Bhagavad Gita shloka says, just free yourself from outcomes and focus on what is in your hands. So this detachment from outcomes, this is called Nishkam Karma. And how will you detach yourself from outcomes? There's something beyond Nishkam Karma, and that is Karma Yog. When you start offering your works to the Lord. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Arjun, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever austerities you perform, whatever charities you give away, do them all as an offering unto me. So a karma yogi is one who's free from attachments because they have attached their mind to God. Now, since the mind is in God and the body is in the world, they are able to do both things together. They do their worldly duties, and alongside with that, keep the mind in yoga. This has got many, many advantages. It's not that on day one, you will achieve complete success in Karma Yoga. But to some extent, if your mind remains in God, to that extent, the mind will get purified. And the extent to which it gets purified, your anger, greed, desire, etc. will be eradicated. There was a village in India that subsisted on one well, groundwater well. Many such villages exist in India. Unfortunately for the villagers, a dog fell into the well and died. And then its body started decaying and putrefying and made the entire water poisonous. The villagers started falling sick. They all were in great disturbance, went to the Guruji of the village and said, Maharaj, we are in deep trouble. The only well in our village is now poisonous. What to do? Guruji said, don't you worry. Well water fills up from below. You start emptying the water from above. Do kar seva. All of you line up and remove buckets and buckets of water. After 4,000-5,000 buckets removed, the well water will be clean. They all started offering their seva, and over the next 24 hours they had removed 5,000 buckets of water, which was replaced by the underground water. They now heaved a sigh of relief. But in the space of 2 weeks, the water was as bad as before. They said, Guruji, we did what you asked and the water is back to where it was. Guruji said, did you remove the dead dog? Said, that we did not remove. Arey Baba, the dog is inside, you are changing the water. It'll again dirty the water. Likewise, the real cause of all our problems is the impure mind. That leads to attachments which result in desires, the consequence of which is anger and greed. What is the solution for purifying the mind? See, I meet personal development coaches and I always ask them this question, that you have executive development programs, etc. in organizations. So I ask them that as a consequence of your executive development program, which happens over a 3-day weekend, to what extent do people change? And they say, Swamiji, about 0 to 2%. My God, they're paying $3,000 for that program, and at the end of it, they are changing 0 to 2%. What is the utility of it? On the other hand, we see in our LTP programs, people change 100%, 200%, 500%. They completely change the direction of their life. And why this difference? Because you are just giving them symptomatic treatment, and we have added here bhakti or devotion, which is purifying the mind. Now, how do you purify the mind? Sri Krishna said to Arjuna, very simple logic. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He says, Arjun, your mind is in the 3 gunas. Because there are 3 modes in material nature, sattva, rajas and tamas. And your mind is made from maya. So the 3 modes exist in your mind as well. And they keep on rotating. Sometimes you become sattvic. Like when you are sitting in the lecture, it's a sattvic environment. You say, yes, I must also transform my life. And then while eating the prasad, when the halwa puri, etc. are igniting the senses, the chitta vritti becomes rajasic. And if by chance you receive a little push in the line, now tamagun comes. So these 3 gunas are inside and the chitta vritti is rotating in the midst of these. But Arjun, I am Trigunatit, beyond the 3 gunas. So the simple way to purify the mind, attach your mind to the all pure, which is the Lord. And then your mind will also get purified. As one poet said, Ya anuragi chitta ki gati samajhe nahi koy, jo jo dube sham rang, tyon tyon ujjwal hoy. That this people don't realize the nature of the mind as the color of Sham Sundar Sri Krishna falls on it. Sri Krishna's dark color, but the mind becomes more and more resplendent as it attaches to God.